Andrew Tate and Alex Hormozi seem to be completely opposite people. One of them is a beloved businessman and the other is the bald Bugatti guy. But what if I told you secretly they've been using the exact same strategy to generate hundreds of millions of dollars? And it's a strategy that you can use right now today. And it's called a low to high ticket ascension funnel. The basic premise is that you get people to give you the first dollar with a very valuable, very cheap offer. And as soon as they buy, you offer them your actual product that's gonna make you money. Now, it doesn't matter if your traffic is coming from a cold or organic source. It works with both. Alex focuses on cold traffic while Andrew focuses on warm. And I'll give you an example of both. For Andrew Tate, he has multiple different Instagram accounts. Then he funnels them down into the real world, which is his low ticket offer. But $50 per month recurring is not buying him Bugattis. So he ascends them into the war room, which is his 8K offer. Alex Hormozi, on the other hand, he uses a lot of paid acquisition. This is an ad that I got from Alex Hormozi last night. The offer was all 3 of his books for $17. I obviously took that. After I bought, the very next page was a VSL with an opt-in to book a call so I can get sold on his higher ticket program. Both of these funnels have made these guys hundreds of millions of dollars. But a low to high ticket ascension funnel doesn't only work when you're this high up in the totem pole. You can actually print a lot of money with a low to high ticket ascension funnel right now where you're at. And I know this because we've made hundreds of thousands of dollars for one of our clients using a low to high ticket ascension funnel. And in this video, I'm about to break down every single step that's required, starting off with the basic principles, how the funnel should be structured, and how to ascend people within a low ticket community. Starting off with the basic principles. Number 1, build from front to back. Do not start off with thinking about the low ticket offer. Start off with thinking about what is the ideal high ticket offer that you want to sell. Then what you do is you segment a little piece of that and you make that the low ticket offer. If you do not do this, you run the risk of having a low ticket offer that cannibalizes the high ticket offer. What that means is that there's not a big enough gap between the low ticket offer and the high ticket offer for people to actually ascend. Creating the gap is extremely important. But that doesn't mean you just make a crappy low ticket offer, because second basic principle is that the low ticket offer has to actually be good. So you need to be able to get results for people from your low ticket offer extremely quickly, because if you don't, your sales cycle is going to be too long. And I will get more in depth about this throughout the video. But just keep in mind that yes, there needs to be a gap in value between the low ticket offer and the high ticket offer. But that does not mean that you put out a crappy low ticket offer, because your sales cycle is going to be too long and people will never extend and people will never ascend. Number 3, you need to have a good sales staff. No lazy closers or setters, because for people to actually ascend, you're going to have open communication with them. You're going to have to check up on their progress within their low ticket offer or their low ticket community, right? If you have setters or closers that just expect to have layup deals, so to speak, right? Literally just cashiers. They're not going to do what is required to get people to ascend into the high ticket offer. They're just not. And lastly is knowing when to upsell. Right? And what I mean by this is that there are 2 modes of ideology for this, right? And these come from Alex Hormozi predominantly and Jeremy Haynes predominantly, right? And full transparency, these are marketers that are so much more experienced than me. So this is not me saying this as like, oh, I think I know. No, they're so much more experienced than me. But I just want to use this as an example of why nuance is so important. So Alex Hormozi is going to teach you to sell at the time of the biggest need. The example he uses is that if you're at a steakhouse and you just got done eating a steak, if they offered you another steak, you wouldn't buy it. But if you get to the steakhouse and before you order, before you eat, while you're still super hungry, they offer you 2 steaks, your take rate is going to be extremely high. Jeremy Haynes teaches that you sell at the time of greatest satisfaction. His example is that you're naturally going to get I want to get results from this first objection if you try to upsell people immediately after they buy your first product. And he's correct. You are going to face this objection. So what do? Do you upsell at the time of greatest need, or do you upsell at the time of greatest satisfaction? The answer is that you essentially do both. And I'm about to show you exactly what I mean by that with our next step, which is the actual funnel structure. So if we look at this, right, it's very basic. I keep it very basic because I think there are too many people that come on the internet and try to build out these funnels, and they make it too complex, and then nobody can understand it. And then everybody's just lost and confused and think it's like magic. It's not magic. It's actually just math, right? So I'm going to walk you through the basic structure. Then I'll explain why you need to be upselling at both the time of greatest need and at the time of greatest satisfaction. Starting off is whatever traffic source that you selected, right? Like I said, this works well with both cold and warm traffic. I do want to put a caveat here. With your low ticket offer, this is not where you're trying to make the most amount of money. I can't believe I almost forgot to say this, right? If you approach this as you're trying to make as much money from your low ticket offer, whether it's a low ticket community or it's just a PDF or whatever your low ticket offer is, you are not going to succeed. If you're focused on organic acquisition, the purpose of your low ticket offer should just be to get people to tell you the first yes and to show them that you can actually provide value for them. If your focus is paid acquisition, the purpose of your low ticket offer should still be to get people to tell you this first yes. It should still be to provide value up front, but it has a tertiary purpose of liquidating ad spend. So if you spend money on ads, you can try to recuperate some of that ad spend, or essentially all of that ad spend, with your low ticket offer. And then you make pure profit off the ascension. After you run traffic through the low ticket community, there are two paths you can take, and this is contextual to what you're trying to achieve. Everything that I'm saying, you need to understand that I am greatly reducing the nuance of what I say because I don't understand your context. And if I give you false information, right, from a standpoint of the context that I understand, that's not really going to serve you. That's why, even though I try to put out as much free information as I can, even though I try to help you out as much as possible, if you are an online coach or you run some type of mentorship offer, scroll down, you're going to see a link to my landing page. And yes, it's going to be a VSL with a calendar for you to opt into my schedule. The purpose of doing that is going to be for me to be able to further help you in your contextual situation. I don't have a mentorship or sell a course. I have a done for you offer where I take online coaches just like you and I help them scale past 6 figures a month. So if that's something that you would be interested in, like I said, scroll down. First link in my bio is going to be the link to my landing page. Like I said, this is contextual to your situation, but you can have order bumps into a mid-ticket offer into the high-ticket ascension call, or you can take people straight from the low ticket into the high-ticket ascension call. For example, Alex, this was his low-ticket offer, but he actually had an order bump of $99 to get pretty much course lessons. I think it was around 8 hours worth of it, right? I rejected that, and then he still sent me to the landing page for the high ticket offer. That's essentially what you see going on over here. So Alex, traffic source, cold traffic, right? Into the high ticket offer, I bought, right? He had one order bump. I said no to the order bump. And as you can see, it took me down the path to the high ticket ascension call. I'm pretty sure if I would have said yes to that order bump, he would have took me to another order bump and then to a mid ticket offer and then back here. But the thing is, no matter what your customer does, they are always sent to a high ticket offer ascension call. Obviously on the ascension call, they get closed for your high ticket offer. One thing that you're going to have to know is that there's going to be drop off points at every single section of your funnel, right? For example, some people are going to buy the low ticket offer and they might even ascend through the order bumps, but not book a call, which means they unfortunately do not get sold into high ticket, right? So what happens? Number one, you have to position the high ticket ascension call very, very well, so to speak, right? Let's say you're running a low ticket community and that's your low ticket offer, right? So you would position the high ticket ascension call as an onboarding call to make sure they're a good fit and blah, blah, blah. Let's say you're doing something like we did over here, where it's just a PDF. The high ticket ascension call was positioned as something that they need to get them the results faster. Because if you're like, hey, thank you for buying my low ticket offer, here's my high ticket offer, they're not going to ascend. But what if you do that correctly and they still don't book a call? Well, that's where you have abandoned cart sequences. If you're watching this, you should know to collect information over here. I don't think that needed to be a funnel step, so to speak, right? So basic one is getting a text, an email, and a WhatsApp message, or it could be Discord or whatever you're running at the end of the day. Like I said, context is important here. 36 hours later, email, phone call with a dialer, if you have a dialer, right? Again, this is why context is important, right? WhatsApp, no pickup, drop a voicemail. 72 hours, email, 2 phone calls, WhatsApp message, no pickup, voicemail. And it just keeps going for at least 7 days. But what if you do all of that and they still don't book a call and they still don't ascend? Well, that's where we come over here. Now, this answers the earlier question that I asked of how, when do you upsell? Do you upsell at the time of greatest satisfaction, or do you upsell at the time of greatest need? So over here, this sequence is for upselling at the time of greatest need, because as soon as they buy the first thing, you're immediately upselling them into the next thing, right? Some people are going to convert in that. Some people are not. And then those other people are going to need to be sold at the time of greatest satisfaction. Excuse me, I only put in a Miro for if you're running a low ticket community, right? Essentially, if you don't have a low ticket community and you're just running some sort of PDF or some type of video course, right? This is what you'll do. I'll get into that before I get into this. This brings us back to why it's important for you to be able to get results really fast. Because essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to figure out the average time it takes somebody to get results with your low ticket offer. And then at kind of like that endpoint where they should be starting to see results, that's when you start remarketing them to send them into your high ticket offer. If you're running a low ticket community, it's essentially the same thing, but it's just with different mechanics, right? Number one, you have checkups from your DM setter, right? So let's say somebody joins your community, right? It's a weight loss program, and they're supposed to gain 3 pounds of muscles in 3 weeks. I just made that up. I don't know if that would work or not, right? You would have a DM setter checking on them like every 2 times a week. How are you going, right? The important thing is that you're not trying to sell. You're not trying to sell them, right? Because they have not reached that point of greatest satisfaction yet. So if you try to sell them, you're going to pretty much burn the relationship, so to speak. Another thing you can do is you can mention the high ticket offer if you're hosting weekly community calls. That's something I really recommend, is that if you have a low ticket community, run like 1 live class a week. This allows you to provide more value within the community, but secretly, it's just another sales mechanic to remind people that they are not getting the product that you offer that's going to get them the best results. Another thing you can do is you can post the results from your high ticket offer in your low ticket community to continuously remind people that they do not have the offer that's providing the best results for the people that you work with. And that is just some mechanics you can use to upsell at the time of greatest satisfaction. Now, that completes a breakdown of a low to high ticket ascension funnel. And of course, I kept it very simple. I kept it very basic because for me to get extremely complex, I would have to become extremely nuanced. And if I became extremely nuanced, I won't be able to help out as many people with the free advice that I give out. So if you're an online coach, consultant, or mentor that's struggling to scale past 100K per month, and you feel like you would benefit for my more in-depth help in a done-for-you manner where my business literally takes care of everything. So all you have to do is worry about posting content and serving your clients. I implore you, scroll down. Click the first link in the bio. It's going to take you to my landing page. And if it makes sense for us to work together, we would love to help you get past that 6-figure a month mark.